Here's a brief Camtasia tutorial on how to use computerized provider order entry, specifically designed for our ophthalmology providers. So when you get into the EMR within Meditech, you have over here on the right-hand side a menu. You go over to Orders to get into this screen. Click on Orders, you get into Provider Order Management, or POM. When you hear people doing CPOE, they're talking about doing it within this screen. So here's the information on your patient. This is Mr. Kevin Test. His identifying information, his allergies, this should all look pretty familiar. Then we get into the content of provider order management. Here are the orders that are currently active on Mr. Test. Here is the next time, the date and time that they are due, their status, which is active. If any of these were medications that were stopped, you'd see a little stop date here. My would have a star in it if you, the provider, had placed the order itself. Link we're not going to worry about right now. Down here are some navigation buttons, orders, meds, and sets. Whenever you open this window, it defaults to sets and category. Don't worry about these buttons for now. Underneath that is a search box. This is a type ahead search box, so as soon as you start typing within this field, it's going to start looking for the titles of sets. Then underneath, we have the order sets. The order sets are just groupings of orders that are arranged kind of by specialty based on what providers generally order based on a specific complaint. The set that you as ophthalmology providers will generally be looking at is within this ENT/I/plastic grouping. Click on the plus sign to expand it. And here is the ophthalmology inpatient set. Now you are welcome to use order sets from any of these headings except for emergency, which is ED specific, and standard order sets, which is something that people don't really use. So when you've expanded the set heading and you've decided on the set you want to look at, we're going to look at this one for now. Put a check mark in the box next to it to select it. You do that by clicking once, click it again to get rid of it. And once you have it selected, click View. It's very important to click View so you can see everything in the set before you order anything. So this is the way the set is structured. Ophthalmology Inpatient is the title of the set, and then it arranges the orders sort of by category. Here we start with some common medications for the right eye, left eye, and so on and so forth, specific medications. On the right-hand side, you see a blue edit box. This blue edit box means that the order is complete as is, but you are welcome to change it if you want to. On some other sets, you'll see a red edit box. That just means that a detail is missing that you need to fill out, but you won't be using very much of that. So to make changes to an order, click on the edit box. And this is the screen in which you can make some changes. Now this is a medication order. So up here is the dose. The units of the dose, this is one application. The route, you can change it here with the drop-down menu. Since we pulled this off the section that was built for the right eye medication doses, it defaults to right eye, but you're welcome to change it if you want. Click cancel to get out of there. Directions. You're welcome to select any of the directions that are in this lookup field. If you start typing up at the top, you can get to everything that is alphabetically below what you've typed. So that's the way to find BID. Meditech also recognizes if you put in for a frequency of Q, for example, 6H. Q, and then just a number for the number of hours, and then H. Meditech will understand that even though things like that, those standard directions are not listed in this field. I'm gonna click cancel to escape from there. This SCH field right here says what kind of dosing schedule you're going to adhere to for the medication. So scheduled would be, it's going to be at every set time, PRN, stat, or 1. The difference between stat and 1 is both of them are going to be only one time order, but stat has to be absolutely right now. Start date and time defaults to today and the next dosing time. So since this is BID and medications in the hospital that are given BID are given at 900 and 2100, this is when the medication is going to start. You can change the start time and start date of the medication to sometime in the future if you'd like to by using the drop-down menu here. You can select off the calendar. Today being the 12th, it's highlighted. I could change it to, say, the 13th. I want to start it tomorrow evening instead of tonight. Or I could say today now by clicking on this button, which means I would be starting the medication today and right now. So here is today and the time of right now. You can add a stop date and time by using this drop-down menu here. So you can say, oh, we're only going to do this for 3 doses. and say okay to stop that. Or I could say we're going to start it tonight at 9 and we're going to stop after 3 days. Okay to save changes. Great. Don't worry about this pen comment. Don't worry about these fields either. These will be disabled for medications like this. Dose instructions. You can add anything you want. This is free text in dose instructions and comments, but do be aware that these fields have to be read by a person and that there is some room for error if there isn't very clear communication that, hey, we have some extra dose instructions here. I'm going to say okay to save my changes. And I get a warning saying that according to the way I have this medication ordered, the patient's not going to get any medication for at least another few hours. Do I want them to start it right now? I could pick, yes, I want them to start it right now, leave it as, no, we'll start them this evening, or say, I want them to have it tomorrow morning, or I could pick a start date and time from the calendar option right here. Picking a start date and time here. I'm not going to, so I'm just going to say cancel and say okay. So here's the changes I made. I only decided I want this to go for 3 days, so my change appears in the body of the order itself, and the order is selected for me because I chose to edit it. Once you've made all the changes to the medications you want to order and selected all the medications you want to order, you can save your set by clicking on OK at the bottom right. And here are the medications I just ordered. They come up to the top of the board with a little green new beside them. Here they are as I have ordered them. Dose instructions, date and time that they're next to, a green new, and an asterisk by my, indicating that I have placed the order. Whenever you see green text under the status field, it means that you haven't saved your changes yet. No one knows about this order except you and the computer right now. In order to send that to the rest of the hospital, you have to hit save. And here is where you would enter your PIN and file. You can click file and exit. If before you want to save your changes, you decide you want to make some edits to the orders that you just placed, before you file them, while this is still green, you can highlight them by clicking on them once and doing some of the following. If you want to make some changes, keep the order but make some changes, click down here and edit. And this gets you back into the screen you saw when you were ordering. I'm going to cancel to get away from there. If you decided that no, as a matter of fact, I don't want to place this order after all, you can hit undo. Gives you a little confirmation screen. Do you want to erase this order? Yes or no? I'm going to click yes. And it disappears. It's as if you had never placed it at all. If you want to stop an order, say a medication that's already been saved, you need to highlight it by clicking on it once and then going to the bottom and clicking on stop. Not undo. Undo is only for when orders haven't been filed yet, but stop. Stopping a medication requires a stop date and time to be entered. It defaults to today and now, but you can also change this to a future date just by typing. So let's say I want to stop it tomorrow at 9 o'clock at night. I can add a reason for stopping if I want to. I don't have to. I can also leave a comment for the nurse if I want. I do not have to do that as well. Okay to save. You'll see this warning a lot if you use this ophthalmology set, saying this order is part of a set when you want to stop. This is asking you if you want to stop everything you ordered on the set or just the one order. So I'm going to say stop this order only. And I have a green message that says stop, and this is when it's going to be stopped. This red date here. In order to share the stop with the rest of the hospital, I have to click save and file it. Once it is acknowledged that this medication has been stopped and has been stopped for 24 hours, eventually it will leave the screen. If you have questions, comments, or suggestions about CPOE in the moment while you're using it, you're welcome to call extension 7550 or extension 5555. If your questions are non-emergent, you can always email CPOE core group at augustahealth.com. This is a great resource to use if you have questions about your order set, if you'd like changes to be made, or if you would like to have a technician round with you and assist you while you are using CPOE for the first time. Thank you so much for watching.